It's mailbag time, folks, and it's made possible by our friends over at Magic Spoon. Get $5 off your first order of this healthy and incredibly delicious cereal. Look at that. Wrong side. Zero sugar, high in protein as well. $5 off your first order at magicspoon.com/chat. First up from Yuri, where does Todd Gurley sign? I have no idea. I thought it seemed like the Ravens could make some sense since they brought him in for a visit. I am concerned about Todd Gurley because he did not look very good down the stretch last year. I think at this point, Gurley might wait for an injury. Maybe the Ravens decided that they don't like Tyson Williams that much. They look back at that direction. Dolphins could always be a fit if they run into issues. I think injury-wise, wait and see. You might see Gurley sign if there's any running back injury, which always happens. So injuries happen. You might see guys end up waiting from that perspective. From a Robert Bruce. Hello, Tom. Hello, Sam. I'll skip the other two people who couldn't even be bothered to show up today. Hope you're all well. Who do you believe Mac Jones' backup will be, please? They're supposed to bring back, if they haven't officially by the time this ends up going out, they're supposed to bring back Brian Hoyer. That will be the backup quarterback. So he's just there to be the vet mentor type of role there. So it's just a matter of, I think, when. I think Hoyer technically is on the practice squad just like Garrett Gilbert. So I bet you see Hoyer get activated for 2 days to the active roster, 2 games, and then they'll bring him back officially as the backup on the active roster at some point this season. From Vincent, predictions on Akhello Weatherspoon. Look, I was a bit surprised that he went from being the assumed starter to dealt very quickly by Seattle. He kind of lost his job. There's upside there with Akhello. The issue is he's never quite emerged as the guy that his athletic traits and size suggest he could be. Consistency's been an issue. I am intrigued by him. We'll have to wait and see. I think it was a good pickup by the Steelers in terms of giving them a potential starting option as depth. Those are tough to find at the cornerback position. From Amos Jefferson, any chance the Broncos sign Cam if he stays a free agent and the quarterbacks struggle? Maybe. I lean towards no, because if Teddy Bridgewater is bad and Drew Lock is bad too, Denver is probably at that point in the season where it's all over, and they're just going to keep playing Drew Lock to see if the young guy can show some promise down the stretch. So I get it. If there are injuries at quarterback to Denver, that starts to make more sense because in theory they could still be contending at that point. I don't know what happens to Cam Newton. He might try to wait for an injury, or maybe he goes the Jameis Winston route and signs with as a veteran backup to sit and learn for a year, which that could maybe make some sense. What do you guys think, though, as it relates to Cam Newton? Will he start a game this season? Get your votes in. This is the pinned comment on today's video. 1 for yes or 0 for no. If you get the ad break, go get your votes in right now. Super chat from Anthony, the initial MVP today. Where do you see the Giants this season record? I don't believe in Jason Garrett. I don't believe in Daniel Jones. I think around 6 wins. I like the defense. I like some of the skill guys, but a bad O-line still. I don't believe in Daniel Jones and Jason Garrett. I just don't like that combination on offense. I think you'll see some changes on that staff, probably at OC, going forward next year. From Jeremiah Seavey, do the Ravens need to sign a running back, or are they good with Tyson Williams? I think they want to see what Tyson Williams can do, a potential intriguing dark horse running back, by the way, deep in your fantasy drafts or in a dynasty league. I would feel more comfortable if they added somebody. I don't think they have to go sign a back, but I think they like Williams. If that's not the way that they feel, if they get concerned there, then yeah, I think they got to go find a new back. There are a lot of snaps and touches to replace with J.K. Dobbins out for the year. Williams could be that guy. If he's not, though, they got to look in a direction because I don't think you want to give Gus Edwards every single touch or almost every single touch this season. Today's show is made possible by our friends over at Magic Spoon. Get $5 off your first order at magicspoon.com/chat. That link, by the way, will be in both the comment section and in the description. Magic Spoon is an incredible blend of health and taste. High in protein, 13 to 14 grams in every bowl. Low in carbs, only 4 grams of net carbs in each bowl. And zero sugar. Despite all of that, you'd never know that there's zero sugar in this product. It tastes incredible, just like the stuff you grew up with, whether that was the Fruit Loops, the Cocoa Pebbles, whatever. It tastes just like it. So get $5 off your first order at magicspoon.com/chat. And yes, folks, there will be a link in the comments section and in the description to make your lives just a little bit easier. Super chat now from Mike Dibble. Hey, Tom, hope you're having a good day. Thank you. I am, Mike. Hope you're having a good one, too. Any good free agents to help out the Browns before they face the Chiefs? I think at this point, most teams are not going to sign players. There's the adjustment player for the time for the playbook. What I think you will see is that teams will sign players after week 1 where veterans' contracts do not fully guarantee. That might make a bit more sense. Honestly, I like the Browns roster. I think they're in pretty good shape, barring injury, in terms of the guys out there versus the guys on their roster right now. Eddie DeJesus, I think that's how you pronounce your last name there, my friend. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. He just says hit the like button. Eddie's right. Thank you, Eddie. Everyone watching right now, do us a favor. Like the video. It's very simple. Hit that like button. From Super Yoshi, where should LeSean McCoy? I think you meant sign. At this point, I kind of think Shady's cooked. Like he was solid in 2019, but he's had less than 3.3 yards per carry in 2 of the past 3 years. That's significant. So, look, LeSean McCoy is 33 years old. I think there are better free agent backs out there. If there are a bunch of injuries, then sure, call LeSean McCoy at that point, but the Bucs didn't want him anymore. I think Tampa at this point doesn't want him. I don't really know where Shady ends up going at this stage. From Evan Hinders, I think Michael Pittman Jr. will have a Pro Bowl year. 97 targets, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. I like Michael Pittman as a breakout player. I think he's going to be the lead receiver for the Colts. So I think that is within the range of outcomes for him. I think there's a lot of upside there, a lot of potential. I worry about the Colts quarterback situation in general, but if there is a breakout player on that Colts receiving core, I definitely think it ends up being Michael Pittman in terms of the Colts receiver who has a big-time breakout year. So we'll see, but I'm intrigued by the upside there for Michael Pittman. So maybe not quite that much production, but I think it's a good name to keep an eye out there. From Jason Joyner, what did you think of signing Bless Austin? That's the Seahawks adding a corner. Clearly, Seattle is very concerned about their cornerback room. Think about what they've done in the past, week-ish? They traded for John Reed, now on their practice squad. They traded for Sidney Jones. They traded away Akhello Weatherspoon. Now they've also signed Nigel Warrior and Bless Austin. That is a clear indication of concern in that cornerback room. Now, I actually liked Bless Austin. I was surprised the Jets cut him, given how not good they are at corner. Maybe that says more about Bless Austin than does the Jets, but I would argue that's a pretty significant, noteworthy move there by the Seahawks. Does he start? Who knows, but I like him as a depth pickup. Now, if you guys want more videos every single day on everything going on around the NFL, hit that big red button and subscribe. The link is at the bottom of your screen, but you're watching on YouTube, so just subscribe right now. From Mike Williams, 0728, score predictions for the Cowboys versus the Bucs. I say 35-17. I think I had like 31-24 on my preview, which I don't remember what I did anymore. I think that the Buccaneers win this game. I thought that before the Zach Martin COVID diagnosis. The Bucs have a much better defense. They're at home, defending champs. Cowboys are installing another new defense. The Cowboys have a chance, but I got the Bucs in this game. So we'll see what ends up happening in the end. Super chat, by the way, from Super Yoshi, $1. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that very much. From Fred Phillips, will the Seahawks sign Geno Atkins? Maybe. Seattle did bring Atkins in for a visit before the end of the preseason. No signing then, so maybe money was discussed, and that was an issue there. Also keep this in mind. After week 1, veteran players' contracts no longer fully guaranteed. They're not vested veterans at that point. So you might see some of these older guys, like a Geno Atkins, for example, not sign immediately. You might see them sign after week 1, so the team has some flexibility in case they end up not being that great. Otherwise, it'd be a fully guaranteed season salary for a guy like Geno Atkins. Speaking of free agents, what NFL free agent still left unsigned do you want your team to sign? Get your votes in for me in the comments section. Elise Pin, who would be a better backup quarterback for Dak Prescott, Cam Newton or Colin Kaepernick? Whichever one gets vaccinated, because you can't risk that for your quarterback. In all seriousness, though, there is a very clear answer. It's Cam Newton. Cam Newton has played football recently. Colin Kaepernick, did he get blackballed by the NFL? You're damn right. It's been years. Colin Kaepernick is not coming back. It's just not going to happen. So I get that he was once great. So is Cam Newton. Cam's played more recently. It's Cam Newton by a pretty easy margin there. From Caleb Eddlemon, Super Bowl winners for 2021. The Chiefs take down Chiefs take down the Packers as the Aaron Rodgers revenge tour comes up just a little bit short. I don't mind the Bills. I don't mind the Browns out of the AFC. In the NFC, I don't think the Bucs make it back, but who knows? It's Tom Brady, and we should never, ever, ever bet against him. From Lyssa Tatum, do you think Miami trades Preston Williams? Maybe. Preston Williams, I think, might have some value. Now, there are some injury concerns over the years with Preston Williams as well. He's got great size. I don't think he's going to be really anything more than maybe a receiver 3 or 4 on this Dolphins roster, at least in the short term. So if there's interest, would help you clear up a roster spot for Will Fuller. I lean towards no, they don't, but I think there is a possibility of it. So in terms of the often unrealistic names mentioned for trades, I think Preston Williams is actually a good one to discuss. From James Castillo, what do you think the Cowboys' offensive line will look like without Martin this week? If you mean like the lineup, it'll be Tyron Smith at left tackle, Connor Williams, Tyler Biadasz, Connor McGovern, and Lael Collins. It's not going to be as good. That interior of the Cowboys' offensive line of the 2 Connors and Biadasz gets a very difficult test. Vita Vea is going to feast, and Ndamukong Suh's back. I don't feel great about that Cowboys interior O-line against the Bucs defense, but then again, most interior O-line should not feel great against that Bucs defense. From Stuart Jenkins, will the Chiefs go from having one of the worst offensive lines to one of the best, even with their first-year players? It's an entirely new offensive line. Orlando Brown, acquired via trade. Joe Thuney, via free agency. Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, draft picks. Lucas Niang was a draft pick last year but did not play. He opted out. I think they will be better. Now, they're still going to lead to some sacks. Mahomes takes very deep drops in the pocket. It's okay because he makes enough plays to make it worthwhile. He does put more pressure, though, on his offensive line. I think they'll be a more than good enough unit. Will they be among the NFL's best? Might be asking a little bit too much right away from 3 guys who have not played an NFL snap, but I think they'll be more than good enough and a hell of a lot better than what we saw in the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who do you think is the most underrated player in the NFL? Jesse Bates might be so underrated he does not qualify for this anymore, but let me know what you guys think. Who do you believe is the most underrated player in the NFL? From Juan Hernandez, how many sacks do you think KJ Wright will have for the Raiders? I mean, he's not going to be a major edge rusher. Now, he'll play some strong side linebacker, but he had 2 last year for Seattle, 0 the previous 2 years combined, so I think maybe at 1.5. is a decent over-under for KJ. His career high was 4 back in 2016, but he normally gets a sack and maybe 1 or 2 more each season. So I think sack-wise, you're probably in that 2-ish range for him in the end. David Evans, coming in late. You're just in time, David. Where do you believe Denver should give one more look into before the season starts? I mean, it's too late because the answer is quarterback. You're stuck at that position. Beyond that, I got the depth chart pulled up here. I love the defense. If you want to add maybe a backup edge, I guess you could, but I think you're fine there. Offensive line is as good as it's going to get. Honestly, I think they're fine. It's just a matter of, does the quarterback work out enough? Jeremiah Robinson. Will Caleb Farley work out? I hope so. I loved him at Virginia Tech up until his second back surgery. There's going to be an adjustment period for Caleb Farley. So my answer is be patient. Don't base everything off of the first year. It's going to be up. It's going to be down. It's not going to be a finished product. Life as a rookie corner is incredibly hard, no matter how good you are. Ask Jeffrey Okudah. So you got to have some time, have some patience, and be mentally strong up there. I think Caleb Farley checks out on that last box. We'll see about all three, though, as the season goes on.